Hi everyone, welcome to Here We Are, Brattleboro's community talk show. I'm Wendy O'Connell and we're back again this week with someone from the community. That person is Julian Gerstin. Julian is a musician who started with the bongos way back when he was a young teen, and he went on to become a percussionist, composer, and ethnomusicologist. He's traveled the globe exploring cultures and drumming traditions, and he's toured, recorded, and composed with numerous musicians from around the world. Julian also teaches, performs, and serves on the board of Vermont Jazz Center, which is right here in town. We are so lucky to have it here. And he's recently written a book called Rhythm, Pattern in Time. Guess what it's about? Welcome, Julian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
It's great to have you on the show. And you've done so many things and gone so many places that we're going to try to cover as much ground as we possibly can. Your travel is really amazing, the places that you've been. And when did that start happening? Was that after you were out of school?
No, it was during college. I took a year off, went to Mexico, studied Spanish, bummed around, had some cool things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was probably like 70s?
Would have been 75, I think?
Yeah.
No, 74.
So this was when there still existed the book Europe on $5 a day?
Yes. Yeah.
And you could travel like that.
And you could travel like that.
Yeah.
The countries I've been to for music are really only, there's not that many. Ghana, Cameroon, Cuba, Martinique, which is not a country, it's part of France. And those places I've been to, obviously I went there with a plan. I went to study music. So in that case, yes. Yeah. A lot of my work with music from other cultures has been with immigrant musicians in the United States. And that's been like a sustained thing over many, many years. So that's
really?
Probably more of that than actually going elsewhere, except for Martinique, where I lived for 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and how did you come to live there for 2 years?
I was in graduate school doing a PhD and wanted to do research on a drumming tradition somewhere. I was teaching in France one summer, and I ran into some musicians from Guadeloupe, which is Martinique's sister island, and they did some drumming. We did some drumming together, and I really liked what they were doing. And I was mistakenly thinking that they were from Martinique. I don't know why I thought that. So when I got the chance to go down there, I went to Martinique, and I discovered like a tradition that I liked even better.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You were writing a paper?
A dissertation.
A dissertation, yes, during that time. And it was about Martinique and the musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but you also, I don't know if it was after that, you started studying a lot of folk traditions, Ghana, Cuba, Brazil.
Oh, since much before that. I've been doing that since I was a teenager.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the attraction as a teenager? Do you know?
Well, I started out, like you said, playing bongos.
Yeah.
I quickly switched to congas, and I quickly figured out that those drums were part of musical cultures, and they had a certain sound, and there were certain rhythms, and the people who knew how to play them well were from different places, and I figured out that it was like, I just can't just sit here and play along to my rock and roll records. I have to actually learn something about not just the music, but the people who play it.
Right.
And I was always on the kind of the dual path of wanting to understand the music and play it well, and also wanting to understand the culture that the music was part of.
During that time, Julian, like let's say it's the 70s, did you feel at home, like whether it was Martinique or wherever you were, how did you get yourself into the culture, into knowing the musicians?
No, I did not feel at home.
You did not?
I felt like a white guy who stuck out like a sore thumb. I just was persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just kept finding teachers and playing in bands and working at it.
Yeah.
And trying to get better.
Wow. Kudos to you, because that took a lot, I would assume.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
I'm still doing it. Sad to say I've not kept up contacts with people from Martinique, and I haven't been back since 2002, I think. So it's been a long time. I have dreams about this a lot, where I go back, and it's
really?
it's a good thing, but I haven't done it.
So it's kind of in your bones a little bit,
Yeah.
the music itself. Yeah. And have you used that music in your own compositions a lot?
Oh yeah. That was the reason I wanted to start composing, is because I played all these cool rhythms and cool instruments from around the world, and I wanted to play them in a jazz context where you weren't necessarily playing for a traditional setting, and you could take the music and be more improvisatory with it, and go in different places where it wouldn't go in the traditional setting. And so in order to do that, I had to learn how to write the songs. So it's like, okay, I'm in my 50s. I can do this. Sure, I'll start composing. Yeah, and I did.
And did you go back to school?
I did.
Yeah, to learn composition.
Yeah.
Yes.
First, I studied with Eugene Newman at the Jazz Center.
Yes.
And Anna Patton, also at the Jazz Center. And then when I got to a certain level, I went to Vermont College of Fine Arts for the music composition MFA.
The titles of some of your compositions are so fabulous, like Music for the Exploration of Elusive Phenomena, Love That Stumbles Across the Earth in Ecstasy, and After the Sleep of Lies, which are just a few of the names of these things. So that and other things, the books that you've written, you have, you're a really good writer.
Thank you.
And yes, and you can certainly string a sentence together.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the way that you've described certain types of music, and in your new book too. Anyway, we'll get to all that.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
As an academic, which I was for a large part of my life, you have to write. You write papers and you try and publish. And I just always wanted to communicate and get across not only like facts about the music, but just how beautiful it is and how I don't know, just trying to give people a sense of the people that I knew.
Yeah.
And so I always tried to write in a way that communicated to people and wasn't just abstract. I was really hated a lot of the things I hated a lot of the things I was reading in academia that used a lot of big words that could be said a lot simpler. And I really tried to write like plain language.
That's a real service.
Yes, but anyway, for me, like writing and composing are really similar. It's like both of them. I'm just trying to get across a feeling or an idea and make it come alive for the person who's reading it or listening to it. And it's that communication it's the same thing.
It's at the heart of it, at the heart of both, right?
Yeah.
You want to communicate, and you also, I think the act of either of those things is you're collaborating. You're establishing a collaboration, whether it's the reader or the person who's out in the audience listening.
Actually, doing music is a lot more collaborative.
Well,
in writing, you're sitting at your computer. Doing music, it's like I write a song and I bring it to the band, and they take it and they say, well, this needs an introduction, or you could use this chord right here. Listen to what that sounds like, and it's like, oh, that sounds really good. So they're like always contributing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that sounds so exciting.
Yeah.
I've heard other musicians say the same thing who are composing. You can do it alone, but once you get with a group of people, there's a dynamic that happens, right? Yeah. And you've had that with several different groups that you've worked with over the years.
A lot of groups. I haven't done that many as a leader. I've been a sideman a lot. I've been in groups like African groups, where they're telling me, we want you to play this on this song, and it has to be that rhythm, and it has to be just like that. And they're serious about it, so I do it.
Yeah.
But I've been in my own groups. There's more leeway.
And when you formed the Julian Gerstin Sextet, you had been collaborating with some of these people before that. Was that for you personally, bringing together your writing and your composing and your music?
I came back from Martinique having studied this drum called the tambour, tambour belé, and it's a fantastic instrument, and it's never played in jazz, not even in Martinique. There's been one or two groups have tried it. And I wanted to play it in a jazz context, so I had to write the songs. That's how I started.
That's how you started the sextet?
Yeah. I'll write some songs and see if I can get these great musicians I know to play them for me.
Yeah. I think you wrote this. I'm pretty sure that you did. But this was about jazz.
Yeah.
And it says, odd meters, tight horns, percussion that doesn't sit still, clarinet lines like questions, answers in the drums. It's jazz, but it's been around the block, Caribbean clave, Balkan slip time, Arabic modes, all living under one roof.
That sounds like something I'd write. I think I wrote that, yeah.
But I thought that was just such a great description.
On the new CD, we have a new CD coming out. It's the first one on a label with Truth Revolution Records in Hartford. Anyway, and the name of that one is Songbirds of the Deep Sea. It's another title I like. The song that I'm proudest of on this is a long composition based on an Arabic form called samai, which is a complicated, it's classical Arabic music. It's like it's in that context, it's played by a small group, and it's for listening, and it's very elaborate form, right? And I took it, and I sort of followed it, but I also modified it for jazz. So like in the classical context, you play a section, you play another section, each instrument gets featured in each different section. In my version, you play a section, and then whichever instrument is featured improvises on that, and then go on to the next section. So I have that jazz element of improvisation.
Yeah.
And it turned it. I think it's pretty damn good.
Well,
I'm really proud of it.
We really look forward to hearing
Yeah.
it, and it's coming out soon. So
Yeah.
people stay tuned. And also for folks in the audience, we'll have this information at the end of the show of how to get hold of Julian's CDs and book as well. Julian, you also did some teaching along the way in Wesleyan, Clark University, Marlborough College. Yeah, did you enjoy
San Jose
that?
State, yeah, I loved teaching.
You did?
I've never been a full-time professional musician who just did music. I've always made a living at teaching. Teaching first anthropology. My first degree was in anthropology, and then music. And I really liked it. You're hanging out with a bunch of young people, and you're trying to play some music for them that they've never heard, and they're all going, ew, that's awful. And then you say, no, but it's really good. It's good because of this and this. And they go, maybe. I loved it.
That's great.
Every semester I'd try to play at least one piece of music that everybody in the room hated it, except for myself. And I always could find one. Yeah.
But you're opening their minds to something completely different.
Trying to.
That must have been really exciting.
Yeah. My favorite school was San Jose State. It was, all this teaching was as an adjunct. I never had a tenure track position. San Jose State, it's just like a lot of the students at that school were the first people in their families to go to school. There were a lot of immigrant kids, with children of immigrants. And they were serious about learning. You know,
Yes.
they were there because they wanted to get ahead. Musics of a place, musics that people associate themselves with, become part of their identity very strongly. I don't know that it has anything to do with much besides that's what people are familiar with. Yeah. That's what the traditions lie. That's what people that generations of people have put effort into building and making every tradition rich and complex in its own way. And in that sense, musics carry a sense of place. I think crossovers have always happened. Yeah. Yeah. People go to new places, people migrate, and things happen. Yes, yes. And I think this is a good time to mention Derek Jordan and his World Fusion show. Yeah. Derek, who we just lost a month or two ago, and he had a show on BCTV called The World Fusion Show. He had, I think, something like 180 shows. Right in this studio, he would bring musicians together, and also on Zoom, musicians from around the world. And you were on at least one of those. I was on one of them. You were on one of them. Way at the beginning. In retrospect, his understanding of world music, which is now called different things, was a little bit ahead of its time, being able to broadcast. What I found Derek was really good at was just being able to connect with people from everywhere and just find a musical connection and bring people. How do I want to put this? I can't think of anything to say other than that he was really good at making connections with musicians. He was, and he made people feel comfortable. Yeah, I think, and also because he was a multi-instrumentalist, he could kind of sit in. Yeah, he could just
be there, and then all of a sudden he was playing too.
He could play with anybody.
Yeah. No, it was really, he had an amazing talent.
Yeah.
A great show.
Yeah.
And so people can tune in to BCTV and see, they're all in the archives.
Derek was a real musical force in this area.
Yes.
Yeah.
For many years.
For many years, till he started getting sick, and then he kind of had to retire.
Yes.
But so not for the past few years, but before that, yeah.
Yeah, he was doing shows.
One of the first people I met. Well, I knew him from college actually, but then when I moved here, I re-encountered him. He's one of the first people I met.
That's right.
Who said, "You can do lots of music in Vermont, but you'll have your fingers in many different pies." And that's true. That's
really
exactly
true.
how it's been working out. Yeah.
Yeah, and so let's mention Vermont Jazz Center.
Yeah.
We are so lucky to have Vermont Jazz Center in town. It's a nonprofit.
Yes.
And it's at the Cotton Mill Building,
Yep.
and you folks do so many fabulous shows and programs.
The Jazz Center was founded by Attila Zoller, guitarist, back in the 1970s, I think. Very early 80s, I'm not sure when. It was taken over not long after that by Eugene Human and his wife Elsa Barrero, and they've run it ever since, and they have just done this incredible job of bringing music to Brattleboro and also teaching. It's really primarily year-round. It's an educational institution. We have year-round classes, ensemble classes.
Yeah.
And we have a really strong scholarship program, so we can bring in young students, we can bring in people who can't afford the full price, and we do that. We do a lot of that. We have an annual 1-week retreat in the summer, which is actually starting next week, and that brings in teachers and students from all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And again, there's a lot of people there on scholarship. So the Jazz Center has usually 10 or 12 concerts a year of really top-notch, nationally touring acts that wouldn't otherwise get to Brattleboro, so it provides that service.
Yeah.
And that's what people might know us as, but sort of underneath that and in an ongoing way, we teach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. I mean, I think that people do know
Yeah.
about, seeing in the paper that you're having somebody wonderful coming to town to play. But the teaching part is a big deal. Now, are you getting kids involved in that?
Not as many as we'd
Teens?
like, but yes.
Yeah.
There's a youth ensemble, which is really fun. Eugene Human teaches that one with the help of Michael McKinney, usually on bass. And that's always good.
Yeah.
I have a samba group. Here's a pitch. Join our samba group. It's really fun. And all we have is old people. We need some young blood. I co-teach the class with Ron Kelly, who used to be a music teacher at Leland and Gray. He started a samba group there, which I helped him out with. He had as a student Veronica Stevens, and after she graduated from high school, she was determined she really wanted to continue doing samba, and Veronica Stevens is a force of nature, and she made me and Ron to start a class. So we started a class at the Jazz Center. But once Veronica went on to college and has gone off to conquer the world, all we have is old people in the class, which is great. They're great people. And we've probably been together 10 years, or many of those years since before COVID, with much of the same people. But there's always room for more. It's a community class, so you don't have to have a high level of proficiency in rhythm or Brazilian music to start. You can just join, and we'll bring you up to par.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's right. The call is out.
The call is out.
That's
join
great.
the samba. Samba Ganza is the name of the group.
That's a great name. Julian, you've done some recording, obviously. Where do you record?
Dave Snyder, another local genius, has an incredible recording studio out in Guilford called Guilford Sound. And he gives us the local friends price. Yay, because otherwise I don't think we could afford it.
Wonderful.
The sound engineer has always been Gary Henry.
We kind of have everything we need here.
Yeah, except for a really good Chinese restaurant that's open past 9.
Oh, well,
10.
Anything open past 9 in Brattleboro is a bit of a stretch, although it's improving. It's definitely improving.
Yeah.
Places are staying open longer. Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with we have a younger demographic coming into town, which is really exciting.
We do have a good dim sum place.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Sai Shi.
Yeah.
She was just on the show last week.
Oh, great.
Yes, yeah. She's really good dim sum and Tai Chi as well.
Yeah.
She teaches that. You talk about collaboration and kind of the dynamic of collaboration in music in general. And I wouldn't say jazz in particular because I don't know enough to say that, but it seems like with jazz, maybe it's the improv piece where each person is getting, their moment in the sun, but you're also always coming back together again.
Yeah.
And you've collaborated with some fabulous people.
Yeah.
You yourself, but also at the Jazz Center. I was listening to, I forget what the recording was, with Wanda Houston.
Yeah.
Which was really fabulous.
That's on the CD, what do I call it? The elusive phenomena?
The music for the exploration of elusive phenomena.
That's a song called American History.
Yes.
And it consists of catchphrases from American history, sort of taking you from the beginning all the way up to when I recorded it, which was at the beginning of the first Trump, towards the end of the first Trump administration. It's Wanda's delivery that makes it work. Well, she's a great singer.
The delivery is wonderful.
Yeah.
The musicality is wonderful. But I got to say that the lyrics were so fabulous. It was so much fun to listen to that because it was something that we know so well. Each one of those phrases or catchphrases, are part of our culture. And to hear it in the setting of jazz and fabulous voice, fabulous music. It was really enjoyable. It was really fun. You also collaborated some of your work with your late wife, Carlene Raper.
Yeah.
And she sang in many groups in town.
Yeah. Carlene was part of Blanche Moy's chorale way back when. She did sacred harp singing for many years. She had the annual New Year's Day sing at her house. She was part of the Soubrettes. She was in Mary Kay Brass's choir, River Singers. She did other things, I'm sure, that I'm not thinking of, but she could sing.
Yes.
She could sing.
She could sing.
And she loved to sing.
Yeah.
And she taught rounds to Pete Seeger on the Clearwater.
Wonderful.
She was not a shy person, You'd go to the Clearwater and maybe you get to sing with Pete, but would you teach him rounds?
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All that, and she was also a wonderful fabric artist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we appreciate all that she did. Actually, is Carlene how you came to Brattleboro?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. Carlene and I go way back to college.
Oh.
We had a brief on again, off again thing going in college. We went our separate ways, but we stayed in touch. We liked each other. We remained friends. And many years later, we got back together.
Wow.
And then that was it. We had a good 25 years together the second time.
Second time around.
Yeah. She had MS. She went into a wheelchair, and we found she lived in an old farmhouse. And we found that was unworkable, so we moved into Brattleboro about 2016, I think.
Your book that just came out, Rhythm, Pattern in Time.
It's about rhythm, which pertains to all music and all instruments, and singing, and dancing. Yeah, so it's.
Oh, give us a short little précis of the book, because I think it's really interesting, the whole idea of rhythm.
Right. It's if you look at a standard book on music theory, you're going to get a textbook. It's that thick. That much of it is on harmony. And at the end, there's going to be 5 pages, or at the beginning, there's going to be 5 pages on rhythm.
Really?
There's a lot more to say about rhythm.
Yeah.
And it pervades, it is part of all music. It pertains to melodies. A good melody has a rhythm to it. It pertains to the structure of music, the larger structure, which passes through time in a certain way. That's rhythm too. So the book is just an introduction. It's just a short, I think it's 58 pages or something like that. Just a short book that introduces a few basic ideas about how rhythm works, technical ideas, which I try to make not technical, to make them clear. And then it just goes into different examples here's an example from the Arabic world.
Yeah.
Here's a song from the Balkans. Here's an example of an Indian composition, just different compositions, and talking about like how music works in each of these. Here's the rhythm section to James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, and I've got that broken down to show how all the instruments collaborate to make the rhythm happen.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. And so this is something we can understand with our minds. You've written it down.
Yeah.
And so the examples that you give to go back, I'm sure this is what you did in the classroom, for us to go back and to listen to them with a new appreciation.
Right. In the classroom, I would of course play the music, or have the students play the music, or have the students sing the parts, which they usually hated doing. We have it presented in a graphic format where it's dots.
Yes.
And you can look at them, and even if you can't read music, you can say, oh, this sound lines up with that sound, and then these two are like call and response. You can look at it, you can see
interesting
how the rhythm is put
visually.
together.
Visually, yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Have you found people who have no natural rhythm?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it something that can be taught?
Yes. That's something that I have specialized in over the years, like getting people who have never thought about how rhythm is present in their bodies or how to use their bodies rhythmically, to just break it down to the real basics and build it up from scratch. Right? It's slow and it demands concentration on their part, but it can be done. I didn't have a sense of rhythm when I started. I had no idea how things were put together or how rhythm worked or how patterns were put together. I had to learn it all from scratch.
Interesting.
Which I think has made me a better teacher, because I remember like how I had to learn it.
Good point. Good point. Yes, I just read that recently. Someone saying, some of the best teachers for little kids are just older kids who have already just learned this, and they're still right there, understanding what it takes.
I'm just an older kid.
You're just an older kid teaching younger kids, as we all are. That's really interesting. Of composing, playing music, recording, obviously teaching as well. And I don't want to pose it as what was the most rewarding or what is the most rewarding for you, but where are the places where you feel really satisfied, I guess?
When there's direct communication and sharing in the music. And sometimes it happens for a whole gig, and sometimes it's just a special moment. Yeah. And I remember those moments. Yeah. And let me see if I can think of a good one to describe. Okay, so Jay Cook, who's another great local musician, primarily plays bass and sings, and he had a little funk band, and we played for his son's wedding. We were outside in a tent up at the campus school, and we're playing our songs, and then in the middle of one of the songs, we were playing this bluesy song, and Jay told the band, just sit on it. Just don't change, don't do anything. Just sit on the riff, sit on the groove. So we're sitting on the groove, and he went out. He put down his bass, and he went out and got a chair, put it in the middle of the dance floor. Got his wife Julie, put her on you sit on the chair, Julie. Went down on one knee and started singing to her, and it was like, I was really singing to her. And it was just like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it was like. That was like for me, that was like, I don't know, just like music is part of what's going on here, but what's going on here is it's happening because of the music, but it's about the event, about the people.
Yeah, and a true expression.
Yes. That's what I want, a true expression.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So those are the moments that stand out.
Yeah, got it. And they happen.
And they happen. Yeah.
And I bet they happen in the classroom there in their own way.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Another moment. At the Jazz Center, every year we do a big band at a Christmas gala and fundraiser for the Scholarship Fund. We have a big band that rehearses twice a year and plays and is surprisingly good. And one year, we usually have a guest artist, and one year the guest was a clarinetist, Evan somebody. His name was Evan, and he also played saxophone. And on one song, he played a famous solo by Lester Young, the old jazz artist. He played the solo note for note. Meanwhile, sitting next to Evan and watching him play is saxophonist Michael Zoldos, who's also excellent and loves Lester Young and knows that solo by heart himself. And I was just watching Michael, watching Evan, and watching this appreciation on his face.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was like, for me, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
It's like all this effort and care and love goes into the preparation of this music that people are doing. And for some people, it's their profession, and for some people, it's not. Either way, it takes all that dedication and time and effort.
Yes.
And that was what came across in that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that was another
it's
moment.
a human connection, but
Yeah.
the thing about it is that music somehow elevates it as well, right?
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Julian, thank you so much. This
Okay.
was a really fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on.
We're going to mention the gigs coming up.
Sure, yes,
Yeah.
you have a few things coming up.
Yeah. The Sextet is playing on September 5th in Turner's Falls at a park that starts with the letter P and has 7 syllables and is unpronounceable. But Turner's Falls isn't very big. You go to Turner's Falls and you'll find it. And we're playing, it looks like we've confirmed a date for October 5th at Nova Arts in Keene.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
a great place.
Yeah.
It's a very
I
good
was
venue.
talking to the guy this morning, and that looks like it's confirmed.
That's good. Yeah, and I would also, for the audience, I would also just keep my eyes and ears open, because the Julian Gerstin Sextet and the Jazz Center and the other things that Julian's involved with, maybe even another book sometime, check out his website as well. So we'll have that information right after we stop talking, which is right about now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Julian, thank
Yeah.
you. It was a pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks to all of you for joining us today and hearing about Julian Gerstin and all the cool things that he's done and is doing, and bring music to the world in his own way, his own inimitable way, and having others join in with him as well. We will see you next week, next time. See you then.